But we've misclicked a few times now, so we keep getting tossed in. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I'm TOS, and you're watching Hello Good Game. Today on the show, we are looking at Temur Elementals. Now, this deck list comes to us from Fandom Legends July. Now, this deck is by True Dawn, and it is a Temur Elemental deck. He placed number 3 in the tournament, and he got 4 wins. So when we look at the deck, it's very similar to the last Elemental deck we ran, except it has just excluded the Wild Growth Walker and all of the Explorer to go with it. So 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Lava Coils, 4 Leafkin Druids, 2 Paradise Druid, 2 Living Twister, 4 Risen Reef, 4 Omnarth, 3 Cavalier of Thorns, 4 Nissa who shakes the world, 4 Hydroid Krasis, 1 Mountain, 4 Forest, 4 Steam Vents, 4 Root-Bound Crag, 4 Stomping Ground, 4 Breeding Pool, and 4 Hinterland Harbor. So where this deck really shines is its excessive mana ramp. Llanowar Elves, Leafkin Druid, Paradise Druid, and then Risen Reef are all ramping your mana into oblivion. Living Twister is great. You're just going to be able to do damage with this willy-nilly. And Omnarth is great removal. Cavalier of Thorns, I guess, would also go in the ramp category. You're putting a land, potentially, into the battlefield. And then when it dies, it's just a card from the graveyard to the top of your library. Nissa is also a big problem for the ramping. She's making all your forests be worth twice as much. And then, you know it, the Hydroid Krasis, here to break the game. So yeah, we're mana ramping and throwing the Krasis out. It is the strategy as old as time. And looking at our sideboard, we have an Aether Gust. So choose target spell or permanent that's red or green. Its owners puts it on the top of their library. So, top or bottom of their library. They're going to pick top 99.999% of the time, unless it's something really bad and they don't want to draw it again. We also have 3 negates, so counter target non-creature spell. 3 fries, it can't be countered, and it deals 5 damage to creature or planeswalker that is white or blue, which should just about kill anything. 3 Thrashing Bronchodons, these are used to sacrifice and destroy target artifact or enchantment, aka, what's it called? Frenzy. Experimental Frenzy. Pardon my lapse in memory. We have 3 Shifting Ceratops as well. This is protection from blue, can't be countered, and you can give it Reach, Trample, or Haste until end of turn for the cost of 1. And finally, but not lastly, I suppose, Big Girl Chandra, the Awakened Inferno. This spell can't be countered. +2, each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you, and -3 deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. So we're really going to prey on this right here because we are elementals. We're going to wipe the field with that. And then her -X ability is deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If permanent is dealt damage this way, exile it instead. So we're going to get a little bit of a sideboard guide written up for you guys for this today. I am going on vacation tomorrow, so I'm going to try to pre-produce a lot of the content today. I'll probably play... Excuse me, oh my goodness. I'll probably play some drafts this morning, as well as get this deck guide out. I have a couple more deck guides I could push out really quickly. If you're interested in seeing any decks, definitely let me know in the comments. And lastly, before we get started, it'd be super helpful if you could like, comment, and subscribe to the video. All of our subscribers are entered to win up to 500,000 in gems, so go check my gem giveaway video out if you don't know what I'm talking about. And without any more wait, let's get into it. Let's play some traditional ranked Temur Elementals best of 3. All right. So last season was the last season of World of Sparks, and I finished with 96%, I believe. Top rank was 900. Looking to definitely beat that this season. Could be a little tough to get there, but I think we're really in a position to just get that incremental grind in. We are going to also switch it up this month, or season. I'm going to try to leave mono red behind me, and I'm going to try to play either Simic Flash, Bant Scapeshift, or Tempo Blue. Let me know down below what deck you think I should play as my main deck. So we have 2. We're rushing to 3 with this. If only we played it first, which is a bummer, but we could pay 2 life for it, which we will. And now we can Risen Reef, which breaks the game, especially if he unsummons it, because I'll just replay it and it's a draw or a land to the battlefield, which is great. And we pull a backup Nissa. Yeah, should be good. An opt, that's fine. I didn't know Simic Flash used opt. My Simic Flash definitely doesn't waste the time on opt. Playing best of 3 though, it's a little different, I suppose. Let's get our Leafkin Druid out. In fact, we'll put 2 of them out. I'm sure he has counterspells available, but whether or not it's worth it to use on a poor, lonely druid will be up to him. And he does assume that it is worth it, which is fine. He gets to surveil, throws the pirate away, and here's our secondary Leafkin Druid. And it is an elemental, so we get to draw. No land ramp with our Risen Reef, which is okay. So Hinterland Harbors can come in taps. He obviously knows we have a Nissa. Let's try a Living Twister here, and maybe we could do some old-fashioned beatdown. Because obviously we don't want to let him Frilled Mystic our Nissa. That would be tragic, and a turn of the tides. Let's get in there, strike for 2. We're unable to drop our secondary Living Twister at this time. So that's game. Not game, I guess, but that's our turn. Let's see what we can come up against here. We pull a Krasis. We'll come in tapped. And let's try another shot at our Living Twister. And we do see the Frilled Mystic here. Which isn't the worst. We have 1, 2, 3 mana available. We're gonna have to call it quits there, and now we're gonna draw some counters out with our Nissa. And finally, once all those counters are gone, we're gonna throw our Krasis out. Alright, so let's try it. So just a good old-fashioned counter. Lovely. No attacks here. So we're a little bit far into a Simic match than we'd like. Normally, I get Simic, I get in there, and I get the dirty deeds done. So let's try to draw out with our Cavalier of Thorns. So much counter in this deck, it's ridiculous. The Surveil is pretty helpful, just because he gets to look for another counter. Yeah, I think that's gonna be our turn here. He does get a Brineborn Cutthroat out, down to 2 cards in his hand. Hopefully here one's a land. What kind of music do you guys listen to while you play? I'm curious to know. I'm also curious if this Spectral Sailor is going to beat us or not. So let's toss out our Omnarth. That can clearly be sacrificed. And it's really good to have it on the field because when we're playing lands or elementals, we can put some counters on some things. I'm going to take out his draw card, to be honest. Right? Spectral Sailor draws cards. We should get that out of here. And we do get a Lava Coil as well, which is pretty nice. Let's pray that he has no more counter magic and go for it. I think he would have countered my Omnarth if he could have. Absolutely. Let's take out one of our big boys here. And I'll save the Lava Coil for his wolf. So we're going to leave it there. We've gotten rid of his draw engine, so we should be clear to just flood him with land, get our Krasis out. We do see a wolf, so it's going to come down to whether or not he has a counter for our Lava Coil a little bit as well. Luckily, we do have quite a bit of land, and it should not take us that long to ramp with Nissa. Let's test the waters, though. And they are clear, warm, and ready to swim. Cool. So we get our first win, our very first try. We've not played this deck before. We have played other elementals. But, yeah, so this was Simic Flash. We're going to want to counter... nothing, really. I mean, we could put his wolf back to the top of his library. We could also do some damage with our Shifting Ceratops, which I think is... I don't know if it's that important. I want 2 Shifting Ceratops. And let's get rid of our Living Twisters. 1 Living Twister. Yeah, both Living Twisters can go. Yeah. Because the protection from blue should basically cement wins because he can't block, right? That's what we're going for with our Shifting Ceratops here in the sideboard. We're going to keep it because we do have our Shifting Ceratops. It is tight on land, though, so that could have been a misjudge. Oops. There we go. So we do get our Leafkin Druid, hopefully. And then we can go from there. Hopefully we draw land. We absolutely do. Leafkin Druid is great because it's not worth countering, but at the same time, it's such a good card for the deck archetype, right? Do we see a Curious Obsession? That would be unique. No, just getting that attack in, baby. He's got his counter ready. However, this spell can't be countered. So, with not one but two Shifting Ceratops, we basically cemented the fact that we've now won the game. He's going to have to cast two spells during our turn to power up his Brineborn Cutthroat in order to compete with us. We will give this Shifting Ceratops haste with our Leafkin Druid. And you just got sideboarded, son. Those are our first two wins in the season. And let's continue that. Just gonna shout out to Cap to see what he's doing tonight, or Kata, I should call him. Quit being dyslexic and use people's names appropriately. I'm gonna send him the deck list, because he always likes to participate. Boom! Alright, we're gonna play first. No Risen Reef, a lot of land. A lot of land, you guys. Let's mulligan, that's too much land. So we do see our Risen Reef here, which is great. We also have a Leafkin Druid for our turn 2. And let's toss our Cavalier at this point. And let's come in tapped. We're going to pay life for our second land. For our Leafkin Druid. That opens up a turn 3 Risen Reef, which we could have had anyways, but now we have it for sure. Let's pay more life and try to sneak this Llanowar Elf out. I think he has counter creature spell. That dirty dog. Growth Spiral. Not a counter. Aha. So we got Field of the Dead on our hands here. This is my arch nemesis of a deck. Hopefully we can outramp it. I know these lava coils aren't going to do a damn thing for us. We have 3, 4, 5 land available. So let's try to smash him with our Nissa. Okay, so Wilderness Wreck is a unique card for him to play here. Let's just bait a counter with our Cavalier. We didn't see anything. Take our double land out. We do mill an Omnarth, which is less than good. But we do get 2 lands out of the deal. Our Cavalier brought in a land, and then our Risen Reef brought in a secondary land. I guess we could make the case that I shouldn't have tacked with a Risen Reef because it is so high value just sitting on the board. A Temeo, so we are looking at Simic Nexus of Fate. We need to get our butt in gear. Yeah. Search for Skanta, really? Why would you be... Some things I do not understand. Let's throw our Nissa, try to avoid any counter magic. we do. And, yeah. Let's throw our Paradise Druid out as well. Killing his Temur. He's gonna root snare on us. Son of a bee. Okay, so this situation just got a lot trickier. He's got complete control of us already. He has the land. Nexus Fate is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's ready to cast it. I'm sure he has more root snares in his hand. He's really looking for his search for Sconta. He's got growth spirals in here, root snares. Maybe it's just a Simic self-mill, and there is no Nexus of Fate involved. That's the only thing I can think of. And we do get it up to some trickery here. Let's see what he's doing with all this mana. Ideally just plugging up his Blast Zone, but it doesn't look like it. He has 6. Now 12 available for our loved Nexus of Fate, or our beloved. It's very early. I think it's only 6:30. So this is going to be tricky. How do we sideboard for Nexus of Fate?
You will find my notes helpful.
If he still looks for more search for Escanta, I'm going to be incredibly surprised. Interesting. I don't know why he'd want Search for Escanta so bad, other than, I guess, the Wilderness Reclamation draw, which makes a lot of sense. He still has 35 cards in his deck, so he's at like a 1 in 8 chance of pulling his Nexus of Fates, right? Depending on what's in his hand as well. So he's just going to draw and prolong and draw and prolong and draw and prolong and just thin his deck out until it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And he will infinite loop us with Nexus of Fate to the point where he's just drawing Nexus of Fate. Yeah. Our Lava Coil is absolutely useless in this matchup, so we're going to dump that for sure.
And find.
He digs for it. He doesn't get it. Let's see if we get a turn here. $14 mana available to him this go around. We see another 30 cards left in his deck. Not a single card left in his hand. He draws 2. He's going to transform his Search for Escanta. Maybe not. Maybe he's using Search for Escanta to get that extra mill in every turn. That makes sense. But now he says, screw it. We're going huge.
I noted this somewhere.
If he gets it this turn, we'll forfeit here. Yeah. Okay. So we know what we've come up against for the most part. The nice thing about it is there's not a lot of resolving to do, right? So it's fairly relaxing for the victim, right? How many of you guys play Nexus of Fate? I feel like it's a very rare deck archetype. He's just double cast on me, so we're gonna go ahead and concede here. That's that. So now that we know what we're playing against, and it is just a single style of play, like he's basically only going for Nexus of Fate. So we're going to bring in our Chandra, because when his upkeep repeats over and over, that will affect him. We also want all three of these negates, and well, Thrashing Brontoton would be alright, and the protection from blue would be alright. I'm going to take 2 Omnars out and put a Shifting Ceratops in. I'm going to drop a single Living Twister as well for another Shifting Ceratops. We could roast Temur with our Fry, but I'm not sure that it's so important. We should just maybe bum rush him, I think. So Shifting Ceratops went in because he's running a lot of blue. And we brought in all of our negates as well to try to counter his Nexus of Fate and his Temur, right? Playing first. And we're keeping it. We have no Risen Reef, but we're going to let it roll anyways. We have a turn 2 Leafkin Druid. We know now that he's got no counter magic, so we're all in. We have a bit of a climb here because we lost our first match. Our life total doesn't matter, so we can use our land accordingly. So immediately with our mana ramp, next turn we have 4 available. He gets his Escanta out right and early. We have nothing to play for 4 and no attacks. We have 2 negates available. So he's not going to do anything this turn, I guarantee it. He's going to hold up a counter. Or no counter. And just take the damage and have a Root Snare in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5. Paying life. And let's ramp into our Nissa. See if he was smart enough to sideboard counter magic. He was not. So let's get an immediate start with that. So we get that 3 damage, and it's not worth root snaring for him, so he's going to take it. And then next turn, we can get the Chandra Awakened Inferno out, and that will put an emblem on him, and he can take as many turns as he wants, because that's game. I believe. I could be wrong. If he wants to start his upkeep over and over again, that's on him. Alright, just going for it, pushing our luck. We need another red, so we'll have to do this. Right, throw our Nissa out, grabbing a second mountain. The question is, what did he sideboard? Right? Can't counter it, so I guess that's that. Right? He can get upset and screw around with our Nissa, but that's fine. We brought the negate just for that. And here is a +2 emblem for you. Let's get an additional 3 damage in. So that's a good game. He has no way to remove emblems. That's probably the greatest sideboard play in history. Chandra Awakened Inferno shuts this guy right down. I'm actually going to shut down his Wilderness Reclamation as well. It's too much. So that's that. Hydroid Krasis, I guess, can stay. Nissa should stay. Cavalier can stay. Let's get another Shifting Ceratops in. Well, no, it isn't elemental. Let's keep it. We do like the elementals. We're going to keep the deck the same for our third match. We were able to efficiently sideboard our second time, and it worked wonderfully. Let's see how lucky we can get here. A lot of land. We're looking to ramp at the very least, so here we see the ramp. We're going to get rid of a land. I guess it can be a breeding pool. Our opponent gets to play first. Paying life. And here's our first of many druids. So we don't see a Chandra available to us as easily as last round. We're going to pay all the life. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we don't need to do that. Get a Leafkin Druid out. And strike for 1. Kind of makes it worth it, right? Because now we didn't tap our Llanowar Elf. We're still seeing growth spirals, which is just great. It helps you cycle through your deck a little quicker, right? Because basically, I mean, your deck's going to have 56 cards in it, because this just draws, and potentially, if you're putting lands out, you're down to, what, 52? So he is a very early Wilderness Reclamation. So land comes out. The Risen Reef comes out, and then lastly we put our Leafkin Druid out. 2 lands, baby. Oh! That is groovy. And we get another land on the battlefield, which is so good. We stand a chance. He definitely has control here. He needs to hold up some kind of counter magic for my Chandra. Oh, no, wait. It can't be countered. Maybe. Yeah, an absolutely Nexus of Fate Ruiner. Or an absolute Nexus of Fate Ruiner. This could get going here. He's getting close to his mana total. A couple more growth spirals and he's there. Nexus of Fate is 7. And he pulls it. And with Wilderness Rec, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't do it this turn, but next turn he definitely can. But I fear it is too little, too late. Oh no, we need our Paradise Druid out. Let's see if it will still work. It won't because it auto-tapped our lands for us, so that sucks. We screwed that up. Oops. We would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We would have definitely had the land. Oh my god, we screwed the pooch, you guys. So hard. I need to get this Krasis out for... Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. I think we just lost the game there. Always manual tap your lands when you're in an awful situation like this. I mean, what do you do, right? Let's just get those early hits in on his Temur.
Do not harm my scrolls.
And if we're lucky, we get to redeem ourselves. If not, we've learned a valuable lesson, and that is to manually tap your land. Right? This is definitely game. We get one chance, right? It is very early on.
Aid your research.
We get one chance. There's one. He gets the Nexus of Fate and do that all over again. So he's going to get a draw and he's going to get a Tomato Search. Still at 40 cards though in his deck. So odds aren't the worst. He also can draw 2 cards here with Memorial to Genius. So less than ideal there. What would be awful if he cast one that wasn't revealed to me? Oh my god. So that is definitely our bad. We could have won this game. That was so close and such a sad mistake. The auto tapping of your lands when you needed this lovely mountain untapped to combo with the Paradise Druid. He does have 2 Nexus of Fates in hand, which makes me want to cry. Deep breaths. Let's try not to waste too much time on it. Right, if we lose this match, so be it. Obviously, we do know how to sideboard against it. So he's stacked up. He's taking 2 turns. Yes, yes, I understand. Scry away. Still 36 cards left.
Seek and find.
We need Temur to whiff twice. And it looks like that's probably game, you guys. Sadly. Sadly, 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 sadly. Let me quickly look up while I'm crying if you can use Paradise Druid. I actually don't think I would have been able to do it. I feel like Paradise Druid has to tap. Yeah, and you can't tap it with Summoning Sickness. So he would have gotten us anyways, which makes me feel a lot better. Almost unavoidable, if you will. 30 cards left. It is a little bit of a wait.
I have learned much from my enemies.
Oh, I don't think he has it. He's searching for Skanta. Or he definitely has it. Oh, a Narset. That's great too, you know what I mean? At least he has to reveal it. If he reveals it, we'll probably quit. He doesn't, but a Chemist's Insight is still really, really nice. Right? So he's sacrificed his Memorial to Genius, so we're in the clear there. Let's see if we see another Nexus of Fate. It's not looking like it yet. Another Chemist's Insight, which means he's out of land this turn, but luckily for him, he gets to do that all again next turn. Just growing that land base. He gives us a good game. He searches for his Escanta. He probably has multiple copies of it in his hands. Maybe he believes Search for Escanta is what cements his victory. I'm pretty sure it's the fact that he has 4 different draw engines that do it, but I guess it's a similar topic. Oh, that's game. 18 cards left. Another Wilderness Wreck. Yeah, okay, so that's GG's. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's deck. It's going to be a little bit shorter just because we're producing so much content today. Definitely something we're going to revisit in the future. Temur Elementals, a really, really good deck, and I hope you guys really enjoy our sideboard guide today. Make sure to check that out down below. And yeah, let me know if you're interested in seeing any decks. I'd love to showcase them, and we'll catch you guys all tomorrow. It would appear I'm not sure how to rank or queue for matches. It's a good thing it's so early because we are back playing Elementals. I can't keep that hand. It has way too much land, and we will flourish with this hand. So we get a Scry 1 in. It's a mirror deck, or it is a Simic Flash deck. I suppose it could also be Simic Nexus of Fate. We've seen that earlier today as well. That's going to require some sideboarding. So he's taking the slow route, which is okay with us, I suppose. That's that. We have 2 Krasis, which is probably useless if he's flashed. They're going to get countered for sure. But it looks like he's making a break, and it is Field of the Dead, a mirror match. So let's see how we're able to handle this. Let's throw our Risen Reef out. Hopefully we get another land drop. A Leafkin Druid, which is less than ideal if we're being honest. We know that he has some lava coils available, so he could deal with our Risen Reef if he had a mountain. And he decides to Prison Realm it. That's a little bit aggressive. But, I guess so, right? Prison Reef will wreck the game. He's just keeping his Teferi, plussing into Affinity. Oh, we're playing Elementals. I said it was a mirror match because I thought we were playing our Scapeshift deck, which is what we're supposed to be playing right now. If you can believe that. So we are playing Scapeshift, so we have a couple of turns. Let's see if we can't bash him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. We're going to Krasis for 4. As long as we can keep him from Field of the Dead. It's weird that he's only been playing a couple kinds of land. Right, we could do this for 4. Getting to draw 2, gaining 2 life. A Frilled Mystic, really? This is a strange deck we're seeing here. It could just be some... It is. It's definitely not Field of the Dead. This is just some weird Simic Flash. It's not Simic. What do you call Simic with white?
I've got time.
Huh. Maybe I'm blind. Give me a second. Let's see how we can win this game real quick. So I want to Omnarth. But Nissa could win the game as well. I need to Omnarth. I absolutely have to Omnarth. So let's get our Leafkin Druid out. And then we get a token from Omnarth as well. Right, we do get to deal 2 damage, but we still are just taking out his Risen Reef. And we have no attacks. Ah, white, green, and blue. I should know better. Banned.
Here we go.
Still kind of learning all the names. There's a lot of them. We see a Hydroid Krasis, which is great. It's a 5/5, so we cannot deal with that. And it's great that he returned our Omnarth to our hand, because now we can just remove his Frilled Mystic. Or his Teferi. I could even remove this lovely Krasis in his hand, which I'm sure he has more of, right? We could also just try to go to the moon, but let's be reasonable. I think I could do it all. This is greedy. This might not work.
Witness the ties that bind us all. The land fights for us.
So we will still have 2 to cast our Lava Coil, but we need to do it manually. Right? No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. What a monumental fuck up. Literally, I just let go of the mouse button. Or misclicked it. I was trying to manually tap my land so I could Lava Coil.
This might be a bad idea.
Yeah, we're so screwed. Other than the fact we can make a bigger Krasis than he can. That might save us. God damn it. None of these flyers will save me. I need to go big here. He's hitting me for so much if I'm like...
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Let's toss it out. And then we have... Let's just arbitrarily put it at 10. So our own Krasis might protect us. I'm sure he has some removal for it, but we were able to draw enough of a hand that we should survive, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 elementals out. I'll push it to 5. Wow, this is a Krasis off, hey? This is crazy. So I'm obviously going to need to Omnarth his Teferi. Should not have added 2. Strange. So let's get our Risen Reef out. Then let's fix this land up.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Hinterland Harbor can come out. Let's get a token on our Risen Reef, I suppose. We have a ton of land available. And we just force him to quit with a wide enough field. Pure elemental control, if that's such a thing. And we are facing the Field of the Dead deck. So we could probably shut that down with Chandra really nicely, right? Dealing 2 damage to everything. And let's get rid of a Living Twister. I'm not sure he has Field of the Dead. I think he was just playing Bant Hydra, actually, right? So our Fry could be nice. Let's take a negate, and let's try to get that in our opening hand, be really lucky, and we're going to counter his Teferi draw. It's not a bad hand, but it's not worth getting rid of. We draw a Nissa, which is really, really good. So we could play 2 and go to 3 next turn, which allows 4 the turn after that. So we are going to need to slow our roll, except for I didn't have a forest to play. So let's just get our Paradise Druid out. That way it can't be screwed with. Risen Reef is really good off the start like that. I wish. We can just continue to ramp, though. Maybe we can out-ramp him. We should be able to. I almost want to take out his Risen Reef. Let's see what he does. No play. That's free damage. Another Risen Reef. Wow! This guy's gonna... Actually, no, he's elemental, isn't he? So my Chandra will not be effective. Just going right into it.
Seek shelter in my stewardship. The land fights for us.
Let's threaten his reefs again. He's not into it. I forgot that I could not tap my Paradise Druid there. We wanted to put our Cavalier out. Let's end our turn there. We're going to see a Prison Realm on our Nissa, which is fine. We have another Nissa right after this to continue the fight. I think in games are a lot like quicker now that we're not playing Duels of the Planeswalkers. That load time used to be like so bad. I remember just one match would take like 10 minutes to load. Okay, so we're still sitting extremely pretty. He's going to need to drop a Hydra next turn. I'm planning on not beating him to it, but following it up. The forest count is 2, so we're rocking our forest as long as Nissa's on the field. Ending our turn, and yeah, with that, it's a good game. You see him lock out our Nissa again, which is a good play. It keeps him from playing his Krasis though, so that's probably about it. And I don't think there's enough elementals in his deck to support the Risen Reef. He's made out as best as he possibly could have. What do you do for a living, King of Midgard? Or has For Honor educated you on this solely? I'm curious. You have extensive knowledge. 3 Risen Reefs. That's some shit. Those were his 2 Prison Realms in the deck, though, so I think we are free to graze. Let's get a couple of these attackers in before we play any shenanigans. Shit. What kind of work are you looking at writing? Right? I listen to a lot of podcasts from authors, and I also do like a lot of reading myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We cast for 4, I believe. No, 6 we can cast for. I'm pretty sure. Oh, we could cast for 8. We'll let this be our plan then after all of that. All along that was our plan. To grab a negate that we can't cast. I guess one of my favorite authors right now is Tim Ferriss. He also has a podcast that's probably pretty inspiring. It's called The Tim Ferriss Show. It's tim.blog if you want to check that out. What has he got planned? Is it a Cleansing Nova? Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, his own Nissa. He's looking to shake his own booty. And a time wipe. Interesting. What in the world will I put on top of my deck? I have a Cavalier of Thorns. Handy. I think I'll play my Risen Reef. So we just got ourselves into a little bit of trouble with time wipe here. We need to execute quicker. He has a Nissa out. We've got nothing. So we're going to need to put in some serious removal if we're going to have any chance of winning here, which I don't think we do. He has a mitt full of cards. 2 Risen Reefs is aggressive. Hopefully we draw it. I guess we can still play that, which is nice. And it's an elemental, so we get to repeat the process. Lava Coil can stay. Yeah. Risen Reef and Leafkin Druid actually work really well with Time Wipe. So that's a cool combo to see. Where's a Chain Whirler when you need it? He has every card in his deck. This match is so over, it's not even funny.
Behold, nature's true power.
Yeah. Don't you dare. Oh, his own Krasis, which is excessive. And we can't counter that. That's basically game. I'm not sure there's a need to go on past this, because we have nothing to touch that. Oakley dokely. I have just the thing. Living Twister leaves. Chandra can leave. 2 Thrashing Brontodons can come in. Then a Gate can go, and the 3rd Thrashing Brontodon can come in. I'm looking to smash these Prison Realms up. I know he knows that worked good for him, and I know that he's not going to stray from his path of using what worked. Huh. That's incredibly interesting, bro. How old are you? Very cool. Admittedly, I got some novel ideas in the back shelf as well. Well, I'm 27, so don't be scared. I'm my older 20s now, sadly. Take control. Get it done quicker than later. Oh man, I actually for like 2 or 3 years didn't know how old I was. Probably like 23 to 26. I was just like, I completely was checked out. It's alright, I think it happens to all of us. The best of us anyways. We have to play this and pay life if we want our reef out, which we absolutely do. And we get the land ramp, which is really helpful. That's a pretty cool idea. I like that. I'm going to read it out for everybody. Working on a semi-fantasy, semi-sci-fi novel, and I'm a huge sci-fi fan, about a paladin and a bandit lord from ancient times being thrown into the future, using their knowledge of magic and whatnot to try to take down an evil corporation that is drilling through the core of the planet, where a goddess who supplies all the magic and the souls of the people lives and sleeps. The paladin and bandit kill each other before they were supposed to die, separating their souls from the natural cycle, hence the goddess being able to throw them through time to try and stop the corporation. Yeah, pretty cool. I like that. And it's like it takes the sci-fi fantasy angle and like combines it with modern issues. Not that there's a goddess in the middle of the world, but corporate corruption is a real thing. Probably not to be taken too lightly, right? It's cool to educate people on that in terms that they enjoy. Let's try to have him sack his Paradise Druid. We have a lot of land available via Leafkin Druid. We're just waiting on our Nissa. He did have Time Wipe on us last time, so we can't just continuously stall like we'd like. Pushing our Reef to the maximum, though. Seeing a Frill Mystic on our Reef. That's fine. We're going to splash our Thrashing Brontodon down. And this will limit any Prison Realms unless they're on my Thrashing Brontodon. But now he's wasting his removal on a silly dinosaur instead of me or my Nissa. Starting to play with his own Risen Reef. Let's just go ahead and grab it. Oh, that is a nice. Another Risen Reef for ourselves. Let's put all that mana we can out. Thrashing Brontodon can go over. It's totally safe to hit, which is great. That was our sideboard of the match, and I think it was the better move. He still has got his Nissa out, and he's pushing mana incredibly hard. So I'm going to put a token now on it's hard to say. Let's put it on our Omnarth. Hopefully we get another land here. Cavalier's okay because it is an elemental. And we do get a land. So that's good to go. Let's try, I guess, just buffing one of the reefs up from now on. And we can still play our Cavalier of Thorns. Grab another land. Or 3. Risen Reef goes up to 3. We draw a Nissa and a Paradise Druid. Land comes on the field. Triggers our Reef to 4. Another Nissa. Let's play our Paradise Druid. And then we have a couple attacks to send in on Nissa. And one for the home team. He just takes it. Which not really too sure on. I guess if I had any advice for 20-something who was a younger version of myself, it would maybe write things down sooner than later. You're going to have a life full of great ideas, and the only difference between a great life and a satisfactory life is someone who not only acts on those ideas, but first and foremostly is like remembering those ideas. So you're going to have to like write things down and revisit them time and time again, and that's how they're going to build, if that was any help. So, there's a little bit of a situation forming.
We will not fail.
Play our Nissa. Grab a land, right? And now we have a Thrashing Brontodon, which is pretty cool. And I think we can smash and dash, if you will. That's game. No time wipe today, friends. You just got leveled. So, with that, this was Temur Elementals, the newest and most updated version. Make sure to check out our sideboard guide. And yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We are playing Bant Scapeshift, so that'll be a lot of fun. We're actually playing it today, right now actually. We're supposed to be